because they're playing exactly what they play. Both teams are playing their exact same compositions on this map that we've seen in the previous weeks. A little bit of action coming through on a 3-stack from China Nguyen, and they are ready to receive. This Doffee gets killed.
Opening shots are great for the first and even better for the second, and now it's just the breach who's here defensively as the take is coming through. Dcop, he just spams through the dark cover and finds himself a headshot, so that's actually very valuable. A 4v3 breaking loose and the spike still hasn't been planted yet.
Wall's gone down there as well, kind of cuts through the door section. I don't know if it's really going to block too many people effectively. 4 members alive here for PDHM. Low HP here for Kickz, the Sage plant. Don't know if he's got a heal available just yet. China went with a 3 coming back in. At least they have a triple entry, or double entry at least.
And with that, they actually have all 3 members extremely healthy here for this retake. The big question is what's going to happen underneath Hell. There's going to be 1 elimination for Reecha. The second for Mix is on the opposite side. Dcop, another headshot. 1 bullet needed for the Sage to finish them off. The Omen also tagged up. The shots are there. 10 HP to hold on to. Does have a flash to play with, but the Nano Swarm, he'll put his pinky toe right in the mix. And Doffee will confirm their 3rd kill with the Nano.
Trying to win. They lose 2 players very quickly. You really have to say that Doffee getting those first 2 picks over towards a main, that is what gets PDHM on the right foot. And off the back of a 5v3, I mean, China Nguyen, they did try to retake that, brought it down to a, 1v2 towards the end there. Unfortunately, did see Dcop walk into the Nano Swarm. A little bit of a mistake, but on 10 HP, I don't think he would have made too much of a difference there. So China Nguyen off to a 0-1. PDHM really want to have a good start here as the underdog team.
Able to afford a Vandal is Reecha in the mix. Just the light armor to go with it, but the weaponry will be appreciated. Kickz, how many times have we seen this play out over the last couple of weeks? You just essentially self-boost yourself on your barrier orb. Again, just a reminder, in case you've missed the competitive scene, that fortification of that barrier orb has to come through, but it's very, very weak. And this is a very free take of the B site. Heavy gamble defensively over towards A, which will mean that a retake will have to come through.
And everyone's here. Good news is everyone is alive so far. Coming through for China Nguyen minus cutefatboy now. And another fast plant. And this has been part of the issue. China Nguyen just can't quite find the entry. 2 kills though on pistols is not too bad.
We're able to get actually a handful in response. Granted, again, the retake will still be pretty hard-pressed to actually work its way onto the site, but the kills are very much so appreciated, considering that Vandal wasn't the mix. Nixes will take down DXN. Kickz from the opposite side will clean up the 3rd kill, but an expensive offensive round there to be sure, considering there was just classics going up for the defense.
And that's not bad. I mean, China Nguyen is so far, you have to look at Dcop. He's in 5 kills. He's already got himself the Rolling Thunder available. He's able on these retakes to get a decent number of frags, responsible for multiple once more. But I think China Nguyen so far has not been really able to stop the push coming in from PDHM. That time around, you'll say it was because they were on eco. You're not going to do too much when you have pistols versus SMGs, especially there's 1 Vandal in the mix, which was, by the way, recovered by PDHM. So slightly better for their economy, despite plenty of damage being done, and that's exemplified by the fact that Kickz will still be on an SMG now, and you don't have full armor across the board for PDHM when China Nguyen have full equipment.
Yeah, this is, again, a very costly repurchase, but a repurchase that was being able to be afforded. Reecha setting up for a paranoia. Mina, I believe, actually heard the barrier orb come out. They were able to sidestep most of the paranoia, so this take of the front side of A will be mildly halted for a moment, and it looks like defensively the Sova will make the rotation, at least to the middle of the map, to maybe help out if this hit does come through.
The question is, how many players does China Nguyen know and confirm are coming through A main? And this is their chance to really stop the push, because Wall's been used early. It won't be used to cut off the door side. Skull onto Paincakes, and already China Nguyen is down 1.
And Mina's getting absolutely destroyed by these shock bolts that came through. Only 1 connected. The second was going to probably confirm extra damage. And even still, 45 seconds left here, Avril, and this is not going to be a full take. A bit surprising considering they find the first blood, but they back up and hit the middle of the map instead.
Dcop might find the info here. He'll be swinging. He'll see a few. He'll get 1, and that's plenty. Now he's got the flash available. That's going to be everybody in mid.
30 seconds left.
He'll go down, but he brings the numbers back to 3v3 before Doffee makes things still a 1+ for PDHM.
And that's actually a massive kill, because now the spike can actually rotate into A relatively safely. Defenders have rotated in. DXN will find 1 before he gets traded. Spike will be planted. 1v2 situation. Reecha, you can see him playing very passively. Cutefatboy, no utility to play with at the moment. His cam seems to still be stuck. Doesn't make a difference. He finds the first up close and snaps to the second. Beautiful play from cutefatboy in a round which you thought was going to be pretty impossible to come through. China win. They salvage the gun round and they go 1-2 up in the score.
I think salvage is the correct term to use here because it was close. I did appreciate what Dcop was doing. However, I think the second peak might be a little bit more optimistic. He has a Rolling Thunder available. He sees everybody in mid. He gets one kill, that's enough. Now you save your ultimate, use it for the take to perhaps use it for your own retake or just stop them from going to B if that's the game plan required. But going down there, even on a trade, only brings you to a 3-3, and then Doffee gets one as well. At the end, China win, have to go for a 1v2, and if cutefatboy doesn't win the clutch there, it's all over. Great that he did, but that was a big risk considering this was China win's gun round. If they lost, they would have been on eco, and that's really rough.
Hot take coming right out through B main. A lot of information off the recon dart, but the penetration of the Spectre not so great, and cutefatboy somehow responds to Mix is right in the mix. cutefatboy another one as well, as for a moment you did hear the Rolling Thunder come out to stall this hit, and it actually separated out both parts of this offensive take. Really good defensive hold thus far, and PDHM had to find a way to recorrect this round.
There is a res, there is also lockdown available, so they can make this into a 4v5. Lockdown play into China win, who they don't have a Hunter's Fury to counter it just yet. Paincakes in a great position to cut off these last 3 retreaters. He'll get the info at minimum. Let's see how many he can take down here.
He'll get 2 of the 3, Avril. It's exactly what you would hope for. Maybe the 3rd could have been there, but it doesn't matter. The cleanup is quick to follow. And after a dicey pistol round or 2 from China win, they've looked very convincing thus far when they're on full weapons.
I think for PDHM as well, you see the smoke come down, and you start thinking, where is Paincakes? Where did he put that from? Most likely he's coming through from short. That could be an A player. In fact, he's probably mostly been playing A so far, so they are looking short straight away. That's why they weren't looking towards the left. So Paincakes' position there, really nicely played. An off angle that people won't check out a smoke. They just don't expect that somebody will be waiting for them there. 2-2 is the round score, and pistols are bound now for PDHM as we walk into round number 5.
I guess at a certain point here, Kev, I'm going to need to get your take on what you think about this split defensive hold between the Killjoy and the Cypher setup, as they have played opposite sites every single round thus far, just kind of hoping that their utility can deter any hits, at least initially. And the stalls have been pretty appreciated. We haven't really seen a full quick execute yet when there's even weaponry abound. And so now as we get into this next eco round, like you mentioned for PDHM, it's a full 5-man stack over towards tree. Dcop will be the first one to respond. He sees a lot of information, but wants to trust the weapon. Only takes down one. That'll be a Vandal picked up. The trades are decent. Definitely an opportunity for PDHM, but the problem is Paincakes from the flank. The pinch is good, and now it's just down to 1. It's Reecha. He does have his into the shadows. Going to try to pull that off, and actually does get away just in the nick of time. And that will likely allow for him to get a pretty free plant here at B with 2 HP.
Yeah, well, it's going to be hard to survive, but my other question was, does he have a Vandal in hand? Because they did drop 2 guns from China win. He's got one of those 2 now. He got darted, he gets darted again. This is really awful. They know he's backside. One shot through the wall is going to do it, and surely they'll get it. Paincakes for 3, and Paincakes, I think, again in the right position. He comes through on the other side of the door. He's playing a site, and he swings in time to save the day because Dcop goes down. You also see DXN there as well, trying to be able to recover the rifle being dropped by Dcop over towards glass. Goes down himself as well. At that point in time, if it's a 3v3 and 2 guns go the way of PDHM, that's winnable for them. So if it wasn't for Paincakes, I think this would have been a very hard round.
And I think on the other side, too, you know, losing that round for PDHM, you're fine with it. You get a couple of the repurchases out. You take a look at the economy for China win. Yeah, the first operator will make its presence felt here, this time from Mina. Schooled will try to match
Not
them,
on mixes.
But yeah, it's interesting to not see it on the jet, which is what I was about to say, that Schooled, who's usually trusted to find all the information, is going to be trusted to find the information and convert off the back end of it. So we'll see how things occur. Paincakes changing up his position over here at A. Another diverse look defensively as the Killjoy will play their same spot, but it'll be the Omen played up aggressively through line.
It does make me a little bit curious here because if you're running a jet, you're probably going to be AWPing on the jet, but the fact that you're not going to put the sniper in her hands, yeah, it's just really strange here. Kickz will take down Mina. That is obviously not going to be res. We'll talk about the res still available for Kickz. This A main seems fairly open.
Kickz caught in a pretty
Close
terrible
down.
position, will be punished. Schooled also with the Hunter's Fury will trade. So numbers advantage still for PDHM, but no threat at either bomb site convincingly being made aware yet. So the posturing is starting to make its way over to B, and just as soon as the Cloudburst was about to come through, cutefatboy will take down Mixes. So now on this take, DXN will be inside the site at B. Going to have some assistance from cutefatboy in their setup for the utility, and with that spam through the dark cover, they'll find one. That should likely be enough as The spam from the backside of the site will find a second. cutefatboy with an opportunity to clean up the rest of the round onto Reecha will do just that. And since we've gotten out of the pistol rounds, China Nguyen has looked very clean.
And that was PDHM's real chance, I think, and they had a couple of kills there. I feel like at least every single round, PDHM have been putting something on the board. I don't believe we've seen a flawless come through from China Nguyen just yet. So PDHM make it competitive, but they are going to go back onto the pistols now. They don't recover any of the drop weapons. The operator that finally got purchased, that one's on the floor now. Ilovemina's got one in hand. DXN has Odin in hand as well. It's going to be difficult to push onto B. And this is where I think the combination of both Cypher and Sober just makes B so oppressive.
Cover going up.
Will Paincakes once again get aggressive on Nguyen? Not this time. There's a lot of utility being thrown out in this main A hallway. The Bladestorm has been committed for mixes on this jet. We'll see if they can be trusted to get a couple of opening picks, maybe alleviate some of this defensive pressure, which has been so good here at the A site. It will be look to be a hit. Paincakes backing up using the Shrouded Step. Ultimate Orb has been queued up, so there's some information that will allow enough time for Mina to back up into the site with the operator.
Time's running out though. B's been scouted out. Mina has been smoked out as well. Misses the first shot and mixes in with the blades.
2 knives already expended though, and Mina will actually find the pick on the mixes, I believe, through the dark cover. And this pistol round has gone 100% not the way you would hope for. Doffee is able to at least recover a Vandal. 1v3, but caught in a really terrible position. We'll find one in a second. Very doable here. 1v1, but doesn't hold their ground for the reload. And Paincakes once again able to come through for China Nguyen at the key moment.
It's multiple times here where China Nguyen are down to very critical numbers. We go back to the 1v2 earlier on, round 3. cutefatboy has to win the clutch there. This time it's a 1v1. Paincakes coming through the goods once more. And Paincakes in the right position. I feel like Paincakes has consistently been at the exact right place he needs to be and the wrong place for PDHM to know. And PDHM have not been keeping tabs of where Paincakes is. And maybe that's going to be a difficult thing to walk forward with. Something to note as well, PDHM did actually have a hero rifle on that previous round. It was carried through by multiple members when Kickz went down, but still not quite enough. 5-2 here, 2 members to defend. Mixes down early.
Another little one-way dark cover coming through. I'm not sure if Mina was able to see the feed or just takes a guess shot through the dark cover. Regardless, it connects for first blood, immediately countered by the resurrection, though. Another ultimate orb will be picked up for essentially free. I mean, I use that with an asterisk around it. Schooled operator mid somehow misses that shot on what looked to be a pretty open kill on the Dcop, and with that, everything will reset.
And interesting to note, once the operator's back in hand, it still does go back to school instead of mixes. So the jet player currently still just playing rifle, still stacked up over towards A, by the way. They are at least denying some level of information. The question will be, when does DXN start using some of these info abilities to scout out B? At that point, PDHM will be in trouble again.
Kickz considering a barrier orb. I'm not really sure where they want to place this, but it looks like it's going to be mostly hinging on what information they might be able to get. Yeah, looking for a boost up. Speaking of boost ups, how about that information reading the player top right side? Lockdown's going to come from both teams here almost simultaneously.
30 seconds left.
And with that, it's going to provide for another bit of deterrence, mostly for the offense. They really can't push through this. The Hunter's Fury will also be capitalized from the other side of the map, as Mina is just free farming with this operator at the moment, finally dealt with. But the problem is the time. There's less than 15 seconds. You got to make your way on and get the spike point. You have to deal with Paincakes and Dcop, and that's apparently all you need again if you're trying to win. What is that, 6 in a row now, I believe, for them, 6-2 up.
And a couple of things here. PDHM, for one, are not really defaulting properly, in my opinion. They're heavily stacking one side at a time. There's not enough mid-pressure. Nothing happening over towards B. It's far too easy for China Nguyen to just say, hey, gather some info early over towards B and mid, or even towards A. If you don't see much, they're probably stacking somewhere. Now that they're on pistol eco again, more than likely they'll be stacking somewhere. If they're not going to default on rifles, unlikely they'll be defaulting on the pistols either. And looking over towards that last round, at least one thing I might say is DXN probably didn't need to use Hunter's Fury. They already had the counter lockdown initiated. No team's going to push into that lockdown where you've already got one down, so perhaps Hunter's Fury could have been saved, but they're ahead anyway. Let's see what happens.
Number of members looking like Neo from the Matrix right there, dodging through the Odin spam. Bolt line comes through. Aftershock, that's the end of Doffee. Most likely sure is. DXN able to combine after his information off the recon bolt for the first two. And yeah, I'm right there with you, Avril. I mean, we've seen full stacks every single round, and the one that we don't get a full stack, it's actually the round that they're on in eco still. And now Dcop has rotated back over the middle. Flashes galore. There's his second kill. Actually, it was cutefatboy who stole it away. Dcop will still capitalize with 3, though, overall in the round. 7 in a row, 7-2.
The early Bono was throwing PDHM was saying, hey, at least they've been getting kills, they've been making it close, forcing clutches to come through from China Win, but now the Flawless is on board. Sure, it was versus the Eco coming through, Sheriffs coming through for the PDHM squad, but they're getting deep into first half now. 3 rounds remaining, ultimates available for China Win as well. Not that much to work with for PDHM. At this point in the game, they'll have to be forcing for every other round. If they lose this one, I suspect they probably have to start forcing into the next. And now we have to start seeing if they will default a little bit more on the rifles. Doffee, I think, has been one of the more important members, but he'll be solo for now over towards B.
What is this read from Dcop? How about this combination? Mina's going to get aggressive. The Rolling Thunder comes through. Mina for 4. And all hopes and dreams of an even gun round coming out for PDHM have immediately been thwarted by some cheeky strats out of China Win. And now Mina getting a little bit of hardcore going on through the spawn. Doffee's been figured out as far as their position. All you can hope for is a couple of kills. None will come through. And I love the play. How often do we see Omen's paranoia? I don't know if I've ever really truly seen a breach committed Rolling Thunder completely blind over towards A Long, but it works nicely.
Absolutely. I mean, I look at that situation and I think part of it does find a little bit of luck, but at the same time, I don't think it's that lucky considering that PDHM have consistently gone and defaulted over towards A. When I say defaulted, they're stacking hard, and here's the play one more time. Massive coming through. And by the way, Mina gets 2 kills before the Rolling Thunder even hit. So the last 2 kills came through after Rolling Thunder. Those were just freebies. PDHM, they're done with A. They're going to be pushing into B now, but they are going to be pushing into the Odin of DXN.
And nobody wants to deal with that. Not when, again, you're on what is essentially a force buy round. Everyone affording what they can. The Odin spam has tagged up the Killjoy for now. Doffee will back away, catch a healing orb, and now we'll reset once more. How about this, though? Into the shadows. We'll actually go all the way back over towards the Cubby FP. This is actually a brilliant position for it. A little risky, but hey, you're going to find a lot of information and get a chance to clinch up this potential hit. cutefatboy, though, has found 2 kills. He's going to find a 3rd. You've got to find a way to kill cutefatboy. He takes the 4th down with his secondary. And once again, Doffee in an all too familiar position from the round previous to this one. We'll take care of Paincakes and another 1v1. Only 7 HP though for Doffee. And what looks to be a frenzy being held onto right now by the side of Mina. Frenzy and an operator. This is very winnable. The problem is I just don't know if either player has information on one another.
Well, they need to be able to, first of all, collect the spike, but both have ults available. I mean, this could be the round. I actually think both Killjoys have to think about dropping the lockdown here. Obviously, for the defense, trying to win. ilovemina not going to put down the Killjoy, the lockdown just yet. You have to know that PDHM still have a member here. Doffee potentially in trouble. Operator spots something, but Doffee with the headshots, and that is why he is the most important member of PDHM so far.
Oh my goodness. How do you pull that one off of your Doffee? cutefatboy gets away with literally murder inside the B site. Doffee's able to salvage the round and actually pick up an operator just to bring into the final round of the half. We'll leave that likely for school, as we've mentioned. A bit strange not to see that operator immediately go to the jet, but they're trusting the Sova to hold on to it. So yes, you find a 3rd round, but you're still not comfortable coming into this round to finish off the first half.
I mean, they found a 3rd round, but it was like looking for a needle in a haystack there. They barely found that 3rd round. And this last one for the half is going by very quickly. Plenty of ultimates being dropped down already.
I love this call, though. The Hunter's Fury gets called immediately in to respond to it. As soon as the Hunter's Fury is done, you hit the lockdown. This will immediately get rid of the pressure over towards A. And actually, how about this? There's going to be a little bit of a push through here as Paincakes will find the first kill. That's actually first blood in the round, considering the excitements that we had. And Kickz tries to work his way across. I think he gets the read that Paincakes is playing by Wine, but how do you deal with him is the better question. The double peek comes through. Apparently the answer is you don't deal with him. Doffee and School will trade things back. We've got a 3-on-3.
Lockdown coming through now. This is where Dcop, he'll be tested for sure. I don't believe they'll really be staying here. Now, they could maybe hide over towards glass. You can actually be purposely caught in the lockdown here if you want to. But Dcop's going to move all the way around. He'll now try and make his way towards the back. It was actually destroyed, I think. No, it did go through, but no one was detained.
DXN is able to get a nice little bounce pass off the wall with a shock dart for 1. Traded back, but DXN still alive. 2v1 situation. Just down to School with the operator. There's the first. Those were the second. Beautifully read from School. Did 2 extreme 4 kills back-to-back for the side of PDHM members to salvage the half. I mean, you're down 8-2, and you're not feeling good about how some of those rounds turned out. The fact that you got number 11 and number 12 in the half makes this a little bit more realistic.
And you did feel like, okay, PDHM have some chances here. They have to pull through some really big plays. And that's the only way they can win those rounds, because multiple times you need Doffee going big, you need Schooled going big, you need someone on your team really stepping up, because otherwise it doesn't seem like PDHM had the real, I would say, fundamentals to be able to take those rounds. They weren't really, again, defaulting really well. They were mainly stacking A for most of that particular half. They weren't even splitting A, they're just stacking A main, nothing happening over towards short or mid. Now that they're on the defensive side of things, this opening pistol is going to be very important. They've already won a pistol. They'll need to do so again. Otherwise, they're going to be down in multiple rounds.
And this is where I think the composition of China Win starts to get a little bit more vulnerable when you've got a Cypher Killjoy combination. How do you get those two agents to really find value offensively as part of a co-eccentric push? That question will be asked. We'll see if it'll be answered here from the side of China Win. It also is important to know that, again, we talked about these guys. They played Ascent in their first matchup this week. They won 10 rounds on their defense, so they only won the pistol and the follow-up when they were on the offense last time around. So who knows if this attack will be a bit more hindered if it does go the distance.
Well, Dcop's going to get first blood here on the second half, and I'll tell you what, Alan, at least they do have the breach. So you talk about what they can do offensively. Dcop is going to be the one to open things up. Plenty of flashes, still just the one, but they also have, I believe, maybe a Paranoia available. There it is. Paincakes. Low HP, though. It's maybe a bit of an issue. Wall's going to be melting soon. PDHM will be 3 stacking over towards A and hoping nothing happens on B.
Nice opening shot from Reecha. Taking little pot shots. Deals a little bit more damage through. There's the Paranoia out, trying to stall the hit for as long as possible, and Kickz will take advantage of it from an opposite angle over towards the cubby. And now a very defensively sided setup. Very passive, mind you, as the attack starts to come out for China Win. Have to make it with 22 seconds. Fixes for 1. cutefatboy finds the kill, has to go to the reload, and the timing is pretty putrid. And that will be the end of the round there. PDHM, and once again, come on top of the pistol.
And Reecha saves the day there. Scouting over towards the mid, sees plenty of members, even gets the 1 kill onto the very low HP Paincakes just to make the numbers a little bit more workable for PDHM. But if the information wasn't scouted, if it wasn't seen, there would not be a fast rotation. It would have been 3 stuck over towards A. China Win probably plant, and PDHM had to retake with not really that much to work with. Maybe 1 flash, just a Paranoia versus, you know, the breach still up, plenty of breach utility still available. And China Win will lose that pistol, and that is very much required for PDHM to try and come back now. They can get 6 out of 8, and that would be, you know, the first step.
Yeah, absolutely. Ultimate Orb recovered for Dcop, trying to get that Rolling Thunder online as soon as humanly possible, and what looked to be maybe a hit towards A has been completely canceled. It was all just a play for the Ultimate Orb all the way through. Reecha hoping for a tight pixel angle through the middle of the map, not going to see much. But has he scouted out enough to maybe insinuate that this hit will be coming towards B, because all 5 members are stacked here ready to go?
It is walled up, though, so they're going to have to wait for this one. Part of me is surprised that China Win didn't force up this round. I think when you're this far ahead and you really want to put pressure into PDHM, who are kind of desperate for rounds at this point, forcing versus them could have been a good strat. They're going to play a little bit more conservatively. Slow Orb's going to come through as well, and now PDHM up for the defense.
Dcop checking every single corner wildly. Will find not just a kill, but also a weapon to bring into the mix. The spike will actually be planted without much contest. 4v3 we go for the numbers, favoring China Win. The retake is still ongoing as Reecha will be hitting from the middle. You've got mixes coming from the backside through spawn, and then the Killjoy of Doffee trying to mix up with Reecha to hit through the middle of this. The big question mark is, will they read the fact that Paincakes is lurking through B main? Still apparently a couple of dark covers to play with. That will slow things down a touch. Turret will be placed just to block everything from the side, but the recon bolt will give Paincakes just enough information, and Mixes cannot recover enough off of the back end of the tailwind. That'll be the full cleanup. And how about that? A thrifty round of spike plant and 3 different SMGs recovered.
Well, there you go. You don't even need a force if you can just do that with the pistols there. But I do look at PDHM and I think, what is going on with your Sage? You have Kickz, put down the wall early. Don't mind that one. But you have SMGs available. Why are we running away when you can slow orb the B main? You can start spraying down. You can contest. If you run away and you just go to site and you allow the pistols to come on site to challenge you, unless you're going to pick up multiple frags here from multiple points of entry where you have to be able to cover it, that's it. The best shot you have is to spray down, have control over B main, slow orb that one, and pray your SMGs do the job. Because other than that, you will be dropping guns, and that's exactly what happened.
Dcop feeling maybe under threat. There could be an aggressive A hit. He's not technically incorrect, but the hit is actually coming out the middle of the map, and the Aldrone's going to scout all of this. DXN needs to recover quickly. The dark cover is there to help him block line of sight for a bit. Now the shock dart coming through. That'll force a couple members back, and the second will be expended. While all this has occurred, though, look at the A site. It's been completely taken for free, so the spike will rotate behind this. And really, you're just going to be trusting Paincakes to watch the long flank while they get the spike planted, and everyone just bunkers up for the post plant.
And there's Killjoy utility there as well, so Paincakes can swing off of that information. The retake has to come through with pistols via PDHM and the short side of things. I do believe the door is closed. That's going to make things ever so more difficult. Trying to win as well, paying a little bit more attention over towards A-Man because they did think the members are there. The door should be opening up any second.
There it is. Recon dart to follow. The full flood coming out, and well, they run right into the spray down of everybody ready to go for China win. Last one left alive is Reecha Classic, the one overall, trying to go for a couple of cheeky jump peeks at the burst. Not going to happen. Paincakes eliminates the threat, and now 10-5 we go. China win. Not just looking good on the anti-eco, but once again in the gun round, well, what would have been the gun round, they convincingly get themselves in, get the spike planted again, and now this economy, Kevin, is looking a little bit out of hand when it comes to the favor of China win.
And the question I have to ask now is, why did PDHM not just push through into the defender spawn? They already had control over 3, they had control over glass as well, door was closed, so no information for China win. They weren't even really watching towards their own spawn. They could have gone heaven. If you're on pistols, you have to be a little bit more creative, and they decide to 5 rush through A short, and they die again. They keep 5 stacking hard, and they get punished. This time around, Mixers takes a bit of damage, but can't find the first kill.
Also important to know, this is the first time we've seen their jet pull out the operator, so what can Mixes do? We saw Skould have a couple of nice moments earlier in his offensive half. And I think China Win are going to try to reassess the threat that, okay, there is an operator on the field. How do we want to deal with this? We know that it's going to be sitting somewhere over by A. And with that, they're going to take away the middle of the map, use the owl drone to scout things out by tree. And this really does feel like it's just an isolation play. The drone's going to see absolutely nothing besides the sentry turret. The Rolling Thunder will come through. That'll put Mishes back into a corner. And with that, here comes the hit. It does not come through all that cleanly, though. Doffee has completely avoided everything and found himself first blood to stall it.
I know it.
Mixes dies, and that's a really critical kill for Paincakes to receive. It even gets the upgrade as well. They have full control over glass over here. And this retake's going to be hard. 2 players coming through from the defender's side. You also have cutefatboy in a great spot that does go down to Skould. This is now a little bit more workable for PDHM.
Feels like a massive round on the hinge here. Potential of 10-6 versus 11-5. Massive implications. The random spray through the floor nearly, I think, takes down the Omen of Paincakes, who's still holding on to the angle. A bit of apprehensiveness as far as what PDHM wants to do, and they're going to back away here. I think they've actually salvaged up another AR for Kickz to play with. I don't know. I feel like after those first 2 kills, I know you don't get the confirmation that the damage was dealt to the player bottom hell, but that felt like there was enough time to really try to finagle for at least another elimination, if not a full retake in my mind.
But this is the problem. You're a team that's currently losing to China Win. You're risk averse in some cases because you know you're on the back foot here. If you go for this one, you die. You're just going to be dropping way too many guns. They will be taking down DXM. So it's going to be 1 less weapon for China Win, but I'm pretty sure the money situation for China Win is more than healthy at this stage. DXM's on 9k, doesn't mind dying at all. And let's see if the difference can be made for PDHM. As the 2 members that did save should be able to drop. Would prefer PDHM to have at least 4 weapons here instead of a bunch of pistols and 1 Odin, 1 rifle. There it is coming through. Reecha is going to be the only one on the pistol, and that is even going to be dropped for the Spectre. So, yeah, this is workable.
Full commitment as far as going into what feels like a force supply situation, regardless of what happened in that previous round. But 11-5 we go. China Win. Again, we talked about just the differences as far as the attacking sides have looked. PDHM was so hard focused on full stacking.
Beat.
Yeah, a little bit of action happening over here. Reecha hoping, praying. I have no idea how cutefatboy doesn't take a shred of damage. And then he also finds first blood on the backside. Oh boy, this has all gone completely wrong. He's going to read the information that this is a 3-man hit over towards B main. So just full flood into A, play your numbers. That comes through successfully. Spike will make its way onto A. And this will have to be another post-plant situation in which for PDHM, I still think you're going to be deliberating between do we save, do we try to go for the retake?
And it's the last 2 same members again. The money situation really has improved. They're running out of rounds now. They get 1 kill. Kickz, if he picks up the Odin and runs, you know what the story is, but it's a 1v3 flashed again. This is looking pretty dire. And I don't know if Kickz has the real confidence to do this. Might even die on rotation. Certainly does so. And cutefatboy, huge in this particular round, gets the kill over towards B. And that's a slap in the face with the Wit Trout because they also lose control of A at exactly the same time.
It's just one of those things that every single offensive hit has been done successfully through the backhand of a Paincakes, opening things up with a paranoia, or Dcop with a flashpoint. I mean, this offensive setup on paper, I feel like you could pick apart so many issues with like, okay, they're going to struggle doing A, B, and C, and also struggle doing everything else beyond that to Z. The problem is PDHM are letting them plant so quickly that once they get set up and planted for trying to win, the post plant is extremely difficult to break when you've got a Cypher and a Killjoy. So I don't know, maybe it's a bit of apprehensiveness as far as how PDHM are setting up initially defensively, but the retakes haven't been necessarily all that great, and I think that this is giving up too much space personally for China Win to play with.
Well, how about this? So PDHM have read correctly that there's going to be a full 5 stack over towards B. If it's not 5, it's going to be a lot of them. Everybody's here for the party. Lockdown has been initiated as well. Kickz for 2 is great.
Oh, Kalak comes out for Mina. Hunter's Fury will find another Mina, getting a third. Entrying essentially with the operator. I mean, everything going right for China Win, it feels like at this moment. Spike will be planted. Last hopes for PDHM will hang on the shoulders of Reecha. A 1v3 catches the information just a touch too late. Lena for 4. China Win roll through week number 1 with 2 separate 13-5s, if I'm thinking back right.